Visceral fat is the most dangerous type of fat on your body, but the problem is you can't see it. That's because it's the fat that wraps around your vital organs. But if you let it build up, it'll wreck your hormones and put you on the fast track to heart disease and diabetes. The good news is you can burn it off, and if you know what you're doing, you can burn it off fast. In my last video, which I'll link at the top of the screen in case you haven't seen it, I gave you the full strategy. But today I'm going to show you why most guys still can't shift it, even if they think they're doing everything right. So full screen the video and lock in. Now, if you watch my last video and followed the steps, you'll have cleaned up your diet, bumped up your protein, lifted weights, and got your steps in. And if you did it right and consistently, your belly should be shrinking week by week. But maybe it hasn't shrunk as much as you hoped or as fast as you thought it would. Maybe it's stalled completely. And if that happens, it can be dangerous because the doubt starts creeping in. You wonder if the plan's broken, if your metabolism's slowing down, or if you're just too far gone. But here's the thing most guys miss. You can follow the plan perfectly and still get stuck because diet and exercise are only part of the puzzle. Picture an iceberg. What you see above the water, that's your diet and training. It's the macros, the workouts, the step count, the stuff we've already talked about. But it's what's below the surface that's keeping you stuck. And it's a hell of a lot bigger. I'm talking about your environment, your stress, your sleep, your routine, your daily decisions you don't even realize you're making. Because if you're not sleeping properly, if you're stressed out of your mind, if your body's constantly wired, inflamed, and running on fumes, then it doesn't matter how perfect your macros or workouts are, your body's going to push back, and it's going to push back hard. Cortisol, your stress hormone, stays elevated. That raises blood sugar, increases insulin resistance, and triggers fat storage, especially around your midsection. Poor sleep makes it worse. Your hunger hormone ghrelin goes up, and your fullness hormone leptin goes down. Then you turn into this ravenous beast who can't stop eating, and you feel like you're out of control. You start craving more food, especially sugar and refined carbs, even if you're technically in a calorie deficit. Add in inflammation from processed food, alcohol, or even just chronic stress, and now your body's less responsive to fat loss signals. So yeah, you're training, you're eating better, technically you're doing the right stuff, but your system is flooded with signals that's telling it to hold on to fat, and this is the part most guys miss. And once that vicious cycle starts, it feeds on itself. You sleep like crap, so your cravings go up, your willpower goes down, and you eat more junk. Then your blood sugar crashes, you feel tired, foggy, unmotivated, you start skipping workouts, you don't track your food as carefully as you were before, your steps fall off a bit, you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow is just a repeat of today. More stress, more caffeine, less movement, more late nights, more belly fat. The point is, you're not lacking discipline. You're stuck in a vicious cycle. And that's when the limiting beliefs creep in. You start to believe that this is just how your body works now, that you're too old, that your hormones are shot, that maybe this is just your new normal now. But it's not. You're not broken. You're just living in an environment that makes fat loss nearly impossible. But the good news is you can break that cycle. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how. You're off to a great start. You've already got the foundations in place. Calorie deficit, high protein diet, hitting your step target. You don't need to throw any of that out. We just need to build on top of it. Because if you can shift a few key habits, the ones that subtly chip away at your energy, your cravings, and your hormones, then everything else starts working again. Fat loss gets easier, your sleep improves, your hunger levels stabilize, and your body stops fighting you at every single step of the way. And the start point to all of this is your sleep. When I was in my 20s, I used to think of health as a circle with 3 equal parts: diet, training, and sleep. But as I've gotten older, I'm not far off 40 now, which is terrifying to say. And as I've trained more clients over the years, I've realized that health is actually much more like a pyramid, and sleep is the foundation of it. Because if there's one thing that quietly wrecks your fat loss, it's crap sleep. You can eat clean and train hard, but if you're only sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, your body's going to fight you the whole way. Like I said earlier, poor sleep increases cortisol. It raises your blood sugar and it wrecks your hunger hormones. So you wake up tired, wired, and craving junk food. Then you spend the whole day chasing energy instead of burning fat. Now, I'm not saying you need to meditate every night or try and sleep for 9 hours, but if you're serious about melting your visceral fat, you've got to stop treating sleep like an optional extra. But listen, I know it's much easier said than done, but with a bit of focus, you can break that cycle. And here's how. We tell our kids to go to bed at a certain time, but then we stay up late scrolling our phone and watching the latest series of The Kardashians on Netflix. It's pretty damn stupid. So start setting an alarm on your phone an hour before you want to go to sleep. Stop watching the news, stop checking your emails, stop eating food, and stop drinking, because the blue light from the screens messes with your body's ability to produce melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. The 24/7 news cycle and endless stream of emails is going to trigger you. Food is going to keep your digestive system working overtime, and water, or any liquid for that matter, is going to wake you up in the night to go pee-pee. If you make these tweaks for 7 days, you will be amazed at how quickly your sleep improves, your cravings drop, your mood lifts, and your belly starts flattening out. And then trust me, you start becoming a biohacker who's obsessed with optimizing his sleep. Next up, we want to focus on your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is just a fancy way of saying everything that isn't proper exercise, like running or lifting weights. So stuff like walking to the store, tidying the house, fidgeting, pacing around on a work call, or even chasing your kids around the garden. And it all adds up. The problem is, most guys aren't paying attention to it. We all know we should be getting our steps in. Everybody talks about it. But when was the last time that you actually checked your data? I'll be honest, I slipped up on this until recently. In fact, I'll put my step count on the screen right now so you can see for yourself. You could have strapped me to a table and hooked me up to a lie detector, and I would have sworn I was hitting 10,000 steps a day. But the reality was nowhere near it. It took me to actually look at the numbers to realize where I was messing up. But this is what's so great about data. It doesn't lie, and it holds us accountable. I'm not even talking about the fact that getting your steps in burns more calories. I'm talking about a little known benefit that most guys don't even realize walking gives you. You see, your nervous system has a branch called the autonomic nervous system, and that's split into two parts, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic side is your fight or flight mode. Think adrenaline, stress, high alert. It's great if you're being chased by a bear, but not so great if you're just trying to get through your inbox without punching your laptop. The parasympathetic side, though, is your rest and digest mode. And this is where fat loss actually happens. It's where the body repairs itself. And it's where your hormones start to work properly. And here's what most guys don't realize. Low intensity movement like walking activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It brings cortisol down. It reduces systemic inflation. It improves insulin sensitivity. It even helps your digestive system function better, which means fewer cravings, better nutrient absorption, and less bloating. It literally tells your body that you're safe and that you don't need to hold on to all this excess fat or water weight. So no, a walk after dinner might not feel like a fat burning session, but honestly, it's one of the best tools you've got. And the fact that the average man is only on his feet for 40 minutes a day, honestly, that's pathetic. We're all busy, but that's no excuse. And if you commit to walking 7,500 steps, you'll burn an extra 300 calories every day. But where this gets really cool is that if you bump that up to 10,000 steps a day, you'll be walking the equivalent of 70 marathons a year. And that adds up to you burning 41 pounds of fat just from walking. So focusing on your step count is such a high leverage habit because one action gives you so many downstream benefits, not just for your physical health, but for your mental health too. And then last but not least, we need to talk about stress. Now I know, manage your stress has been slapped on every health tip list since the dawn of time. I don't have the cure. I wish I did. I wish I could hand you a pill. But actually, then I wouldn't be stood here making this video. I'd be on my yacht, because I'd be a billionaire. But honestly, it can be the biggest difference maker for people. And more importantly, I want to give you some tangible tips that have helped me reduce my stress levels. Chronic stress keeps cortisol high, and cortisol isn't just a stress hormone. It tells your body to store fat. So even if your diet and training are solid, if your head is fried all day, you're still going to struggle to shift belly fat. The fix? Well, don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to sit on a yoga mat and find your inner peace. Let's keep it simple. Here's 4 things that actually work. Number 1, start your day with a cold shower. 45 seconds is more than enough. It sucks, but it works. It reduces inflammation, boosts dopamine, and helps reset your nervous system for the day. I do this every morning, and I get out of the shower with a huge grin on my face, so don't knock it until you've tried it. Number 2, cut down on stimulants. Caffeine and stress go hand in hand, so you don't want to be taking pre-workout at 5 p.m., and you don't want to be guzzling 5 coffees every morning. Set a hard cutoff for 1 p.m., or even better, switch to decaf. I did this at the start of the year, and now I don't even drink that. And the best part is, I've got more energy than ever. Trust me, your sleep and your belly will thank you. Number 3, take magnesium L-threonate before bed. This one's underrated. It helps calm the brain, lower cortisol, and improve sleep quality, especially deep sleep. You'll wake up less wired and less likely to reach for the triple espresso first thing. And number 4, reduce your screen time, especially at night. We touched on this earlier, but I'm saying it again because it's such a game changer. These phones we've got are amazing, but all the data we've got tells us that they're no good for us. So put your phone down at night and for God's sake, turn off your notifications. The first thing you see in the morning should not be an email from your boss, a thirst trap from your ex, or news that another war started. Listen, none of this is glamorous, but if you stack it on top of the basics, you'll stop living in fight or flight mode. And when that happens, your body can finally start letting go of the fat that it's been clinging on to. So here's the bottom line. You don't need to change what you're already doing. You just need to upgrade your operating system. If you stack the stuff we've been through today on top of a solid training and nutrition plan, you can't lose. Your energy will come back and the fat will start melting away. But I appreciate all of this is easier said than done. And the missing link, the glue that holds all of this together, is something that I can't give you in a video: accountability. You can take all the information from today, but if you can't implement it consistently, nothing's going to change. And that's the real reason my coaching program gets such amazing results. Not because I'm teaching my clients anything that's particularly revolutionary, but because I'm giving them the accountability they need to stay consistent. So if you're serious about getting rid of that visceral fat once and for all and building a lean, strong physique in the process, click the link under the video and watch the short clip on my website now so you can find out exactly how my coaching program works and whether you're eligible to join. Bye.